for the composers to listen back to when you're kind of making some small edits. It's not like it's going to be like an in-depth rehearsal, but a little bit of feedback from both Robin and myself on your mainly the compositional part at this stage, and what to do to maybe improve or change. Um, I think what's also important to point out is that for the singers, that you're not being discouraged too much because it is a reading stage. So if you feel like, oh, this is difficult or this is impossible, then of course you can discuss it. But it is very possible that after several sessions of practicing, that you'll actually will be able to tackle most of the issues that you thought were an issue. So I think we should just keep an open mind and try to get through the pieces as brisk as possible. Yeah. We have 3 hours, I think.
We've got lots of time.
Lots of time.
And I can't remember how many pieces we have. 9, I think. So
that means we'll have a max. I would say like 15 minutes per piece. Let's kind of say that as a maximum that we have. So I'll keep the clock going so that
would be great.
That. Yeah. And if it's shorter than, if 10 minutes is fine, then it should be fine.
Okay. So I think do you guys have copies of everybody's pieces? No? Okay.
I asked them to bring scores.
Yeah, did you bring scores? Oh, I have it, but if you have a copy of a score to hand out, that would be great. Okay, so I think we're going to start with Dawn's piece tonight. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can all see who Dawn is. And he's going to wave to you all. Dawn, can you wave to the computer? There he is. So we're going to do his piece first. Shoot. I should have emailed it to all of you at home, in hindsight. Well, we'll do what we can. Okay, would you like to just come and tell us a little bit, come up here and tell everybody a little bit what this is, maybe a little bit about the text, and then I will do my best to sight read it.
Thank you. Well, let me first of all say I'm thrilled and very nervous to be here. I'm a private student of Jackie Leggett's, and she has put up with me for quite some time now, starting with teaching me basic harmony, and then we've moved on to other subjects, and I've audited a couple of courses, and I might have sat in on a couple of classes with each of you. And because of a shortage of composers, I was invited to participate in this project, and I'm absolutely thrilled to do so. I've never done anything like this before. I've never written an art song before. My background is rhythm and blues and jazz, and I've done a bunch of that stuff, but this is obviously a lot different from writing a standard 32-bar song form in R&B. This was my second choice of text. I won't tell you why we rejected the first choice, but the legend of Siegfried has always interested me. And I am a big fan of the ring cycle for a number of different reasons. I know that can go one way or the other really, really hard. I know it doesn't sit very well with my wife, who patiently sat through 18 hours of the cycle at the Met once, and we're still married. I think. But when this translation of the Nibelungenlied was published several years ago, I picked it up, and what intrigued me about this, and in particular this text, is that the importance of the various characters is very different than you see in Wagner. The Nibelungenlied is not about Siegfried, it's about his wife, Kriemhild. And Kriemhild is a very interesting character. For the first half of the book, she looks like she stepped out of a 1950s US Hollywood movie. She's the typical sweet, adorable housewife. She can sing, she can cook, she can do that sort of stuff, but basically she knows her role. and Siegfried is the hero. Siegfried is killed and everything changes. And one of the motivating factors behind the change is that Kriemhilde was unwittingly party to his death. She was tricked into revealing his vulnerability, and Hagen was able to kill him unawares. And so when Siegfried dies, her whole life is destroyed. Like, it is destroyed. This woman is absolutely shattered. But at the same time, she goes through a significant transformation over a short period of text, where she goes from this sweet, innocent young lady to a vengeful character. And that dominates the rest of the text from this point forward. It's a remarkable story and it's a remarkable characterization. But this sits right in the middle. Siegfried's funeral sits right in the middle of the text. And it's right when Kriemhilde is at her most vulnerable, absolutely shattered, but she has already vowed that she is going to take revenge, and she will seek revenge on Hagen for this text. But you never see her this vulnerable or this overcome with grief or this shattered anywhere else in the text. She emerges as very strong. So that's what appealed to me for it. The nature of the text was a 12th, 13th century Middle German. The challenge with it is that it doesn't scan the way English poetry normally does, and so this had to be through composed, or at least that's what we decided how we were going to approach it. And that's probably enough of an introduction.
Fabulous. Thank you. Right. All right. So at home, if it the sound should be okay. If it is ever not great, just chime in. Okay. Okay. Great. Siegfried was dead. Siegfried was dead. And when the holy service and singing were done, Siegfried's coffin was carried to the grave. One's face bore a smile as Siegfried was sent to join the dead. Siegfried's wife made herself come to the grave. Her faithful heart fled to the casket. She was given one desperate chance to lift his handsome head with her delicate white hand. She was given one final chance to lift his noble head. She kissed and she had to be carried away, unable to stand or walk. A magnificent queen, almost dead with the grief she could not share. They ordered Siegfried, covered in earthly dust. Great.
Very exciting.
Whew. Kind of. Does that sound okay over there? Yes? Good. Okay. Okay. Thoughts? Do we have time for thoughts?
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe Don, you want to comment first, like some thoughts you might have about was it as expected?
For the most
Okay.
part, yes. For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations on a very good reading.
Well, thanks.
I'm always impressed with the quality of sight reading that I hear around this school. That having been said, would be a little bit different if we had had opportunity to observe the temples. Also, there are a lot of changes in temples, and originally started at 60 beats per minute. We go into that section, which is most like a folk song, we're really up to about 80 per minute. So the temples, I think, would make a difference in terms of the such on.
Yeah, which is of course something that will come with time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got an opportunity to look.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you couldn't hear that, he was just talking about how I need to observe the tempos better. So there's much more change in tempo written in the score, and I kind of just went slowly. So yeah, agreed.
How is it in the voice? Is it?
Totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, this Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Yes,
Okay.
not Anastasia.
Yes, got it.
Yes, okay. Oh, are you there, Anastasia? I feel like there's way more people here than I can see. There you are. Hi. Hi. How was that?
It sounded great.
Is it kind of what you expected?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I already heard it, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. Yeah, I thought it felt pretty good in the voice. Um, I mean, I'm never thrilled when I have to do a whole bunch of text way up high. There was one little section I was like, oh, but Anastasia's voice is a little not, it's younger.
Lighter,
Well, much younger.
but light.
Um, she's gonna be a big dramatic singer.
It's lighter because she's young.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, but I think she won't have any trouble up in the.
At that very climax where I did the resolution from the E flat to A,
Yeah.
which you might have been referring to, I did check with Anastasia, and she said no problem.
Yeah, it won't be a problem.
She's got a remarkable range.
Yeah, she does.
Goes from sort of A3 up to A5.
Yeah.
And then she can stretch up,
Yeah,
up to D6. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So.
yeah. But I think this is really well written for her voice.
It might be like the bars after that though, because you're continuing until 66 in a pretty high range. I was wondering if also dramatically you want that, like it's still quite straining and it felt that way. What do you think? That's the alarm.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you really want to keep it in that high range there all that time, or if you want to kind of maybe go down and back up or something like that, so that it's not constantly as high.
It's her moment of like maximum distress there, right?
That is correct. That's it.
So yeah.
At rehearsal letter,
Like after 62 or 60,
when we get to section C there, it's the first time that we see her. And then when we get into that section where I've got a great big system up there, which is up and down.
Robin, I cannot hear Dawn.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm wondering. Dawn, would you mind just actually? Yeah, that's the problem. I just can't pick you up with your. Yeah, here, I'll just do that.
Hi, Anastasia.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, when we get up there, you're absolutely right. This is the point of maximum tension. And so things get a little bit fragmented in terms of the rhythms there, and I think you might have been alluding to that as well, particularly bars sort of 62, 63, 64, that sort of thing. She's becoming a little bit unglued. And then what I wanted when I went into section E was to calm that right down. There's an element in the story where she goes from the public display when she's brought to the casket, and now it's very private between her and the deceased Siegfried. This original section at E, when I originally did it, was sounded very differently than it does right now. What Jackie said was, she says, it sounds like you've written a folk song.
Yeah.
And she was exactly correct. And the reason I did that, I was actually inspired by Anastasia.
Yeah.
She has a wonderful recording on YouTube of the Russian folk tune Horse. And I heard her sing that, and I thought, the first thing I thought was, that's her. And then I wanted to get a piece of that in there, but I softened out the sort of folk songs. So that's why we go to a very different texture and bring it back down into the lower register. But I'm happy to entertain.
I think Rebecca, now you're explaining that, and also what you commented earlier, that is the climax, or sustained climax. Maybe the dynamic should reflect that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to mezzo forte and then diminuendo to mezzo piano in
Mm-hmm.
the higher range. I don't know if that's possible, like to color that from a student's perspective, but then it might kind of lose the
Yes.
intensity. Well,
Okay.
just a thought, just a thought.
No, great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. Is the key still F major in letter E?
Letter E, we've jumped into C major.
And then, right. And then later
Yeah, 80, well, 87 we're into B minor. So basically we're F minor, and with a little foray into B minor, then that middle section in there in C major, finishing off in B minor at rehearsal. Oh, sorry, I'm at rehearsal out of B. I've got my pages mixed up.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you get it, and then you're absolutely right. By the time we get through that frantic piano part, boom, boom, we're back in the home key.
And do you want the voice to be always kind of like in like a mournful, which is very you succeeded in that very successfully. Or I was wondering, like when the piano has the kind of 16th notes introduced on page 5, like a rhythm like that, would it be out of character if you would bring that into the voice?
Not at all. And this is something that I would not expect at a reading like this. But further to your instructions from you earlier, I did put a lot of direction into the voice. So we've got like a chant at the beginning,
Yeah, no, that's great.
you know, grave in there, and then a little bit more expressive. And when the whole is, you know, it becomes a little bit more singable, not quite cantabile, but, you know, a little bit more singable. And so you'll see those markings throughout the score. When we get into that section in C major, but like the folk song, I've listed it as cantabile. It's a real singing, smooth, legato singing. Sorry, I should be. Hi, Anastasia. I've got my back turned to you. That's terrible. So there are hopefully some variances in there.
Yeah.
Which definitely.
Differences between the narrator and when she's speaking herself,
Mhm.
et cetera.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm always really attracted towards songs that have more than one voice, that have double, like a narrator and a
Yes.
character, for instance, or two
Yes.
characters. It's just such a great opportunity. I think you have a lot of, like, I like that there's so many very clear sections in this and depicting her, you know, her trajectory
Mhm.
in this moment. Yeah. And it's always fun when a composer wants a lament or, you know, something that sounds distressed, because actually that's really good for singing. Believe it or not, because it really actually makes you sing with really good support. Oh, like that feeling is really good. And so, yeah, I like what you've done with all the like lower thirds and
Who wants to sing about happy stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
happy stuff. We'll leave that for the.
In this day and age, it seems
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
right out,
Necessary, right?
Yeah.
right out of place.
Yeah.
Originally, I understand the musicologists believe that when these epic poems, and when I'm talking about a poem, this is, you know, a 300 page book.
Yeah.
When these poems were recited, they were at least sung in part or maybe in whole. And given the time frame of the 12th and 13th century, I thought, well, let's reference chant, and hence the choice of the Phrygian rather than the melodic minor.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the scale choice.
Yeah. I also have one question about that, because Phrygian also reminds me a little bit of maybe the jazz or rock background. Is there anything else that you have sneaked in there?
No.
That kind of background?
No, as a matter of fact, I deliberately tried to avoid that. I didn't want this to be a rhythm and blues horn band sound. But we could do that if you like. No, I didn't.
No, I like. Great.
Thank
Thank you. Does anyone have questions about that, please?
you.
Really great.
Thank you, Anastasia. We'll see you.
She's getting better.
I'm
Okay, so what should we do next? Who is there? Anyone who wants their piece to go next or needs their piece to go next? Anyone?
Would you like this back?
Pardon me?
Would you like this back?
No, that's for you. It's,
Well, do you want to go, Z? Yeah? Okay. Oh, wait. Which one is yours, Z? Burning Bright. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what? Your composer is sorry, say. Oh, Judah. Well, he's not here right now.
He had COVID over the weekend. So
Yeah, he told me he had
Oh,
COVID. So
yeah.
sorry. So he told me he has it. I wasn't sure if he was going to come or not, but since we're recording, why don't we go ahead and do it? And I can send him a recording later.
Stairs going up, I guess.
Sorry, see.
I forgot.
I know. I've gone through an entire bottle of this stuff this week, so there we go. Just being safe. He's not here on Zoom. So we could wait a few more minutes.
I don't know if he's on. Did you send him the link?
I sent him the link. Yeah. Why don't we wait it because he might want to be coming. He might be coming at 7. Okay. So let's just wait on. Sorry about that, Z. Why don't we do you, Jenny and Yuki? I'm excited. So Nina will have to set up her piano while we You know what? I do a copy of I can donate more. For
I guess. Oh yeah, because I posted that last night.
right.
It's some of them. Brought us there. Aaron, do you have a?
You need to talk about yourself.
Do you have a spare copy of your story? But or do you need it yourself? Oh, you're ready. That's great. Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
So I have one, but unless you this is old. Unless you have a new. Do you have a new one too? Oh, you do. Okay.
Oh, can I have a new one then too?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Let's make sure Nina has one. That's more important. Okay.
You wonder about the ego.
Sorry. Oh.
Really.
Do I have?
Oh, no changes to the piano? Oh, if there's no changes, then I'm good. Thank you. But is there changes in the voice part? I should have it then, just so I can see it. Thank you.
What do you have? Are you using it yourself? Just for this piece?
Would you like to tell everybody a little bit about this? Yeah. While Nina gets set up.
The poem like I choose is called Random Festival Night. This poem is written by a famous Chinese poem who lives in Song Dynasty, which is like 1,000 years ago. Yeah, and this poem depicts the lively bubbling scene in the London Festival, where a lovely girl standing alone under the pink moat. Yeah, and there is like ambiguity in the poem. On one hand, it could be a person finding love in the street, and because the London Festival allows people to allow boy and girls hang out and to admire the lanterns at night. On the other hand, it's about the poet's political frustration because his country is going to broke by enemy, but no one rich class doesn't really care about it, and poor people die beside the street. Yeah, it has two different meanings.
love and crisis.
Thank you. All right.
But is it sung in Chinese or in English?
It's a song, it's word in Chinese, but someone translate. Yeah.
But who are you singing in Chinese or in?
Partial Chinese, partial English.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
that's what I
nice.
thought. Okay. All right. Can everyone see you there, Jenny? Good.
Oh, you beat me by a lot.
You gotta wait.
Can we do the end? Can we go from? Okay.
You want to come up here? Because if you talk, they won't be able to hear you. Good.
It's very challenging song for both piano and singer, and but especially singer like many meter change and triplet meter. So yeah. Triplet reason, sorry. And I should leave out more room for piano to prepare the I think.
What about it?
Like the end.
Oh, leave it out.
No, I mean more room.
Ah. Yes. Yeah.
And
It's a really cool sound.
It is. I
Really impressive.
really like this song.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting. Like that's the kind of song I'm like, oh, that's.
Yeah.
I'm ready. It's really interesting.
Yeah. You have very beautiful voice. That'll be all good.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of getting a bit more familiar with.
Well, it's really hard to say.
I can't
Yeah.
find my
Yeah.
Did you
my
say?
rhythm either. Yeah, yes, I'm sight reading it. Well, I practiced for a few times, but
Yeah.
still, it
Yeah,
sounds
well,
still
it's
like
a
sight
different
reading.
soundscape than you're used to,
I
right?
think it's easier to sing like without the piano even.
Oh, it'll be easy, but once you get
I
it in your
couldn't find
head.
the notes like when the piano's playing, which is weird.
Yeah, but it'll be fine because as I look at this, I think it's actually really, there's a lot of clues for you in the piano. And as soon as we work on it a little bit and we figure out where they all are, you'll be fine. Like she's written you, it's gonna be great because it's not just like pick a note out of nothing. It's not that at all. There's a lot of places where you can grab yourself. You'll be totally fine. Totally fine. And I do agree that the rhythm is like a little funky, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's mostly just because like there's ties into first beats of triplets.
Yeah.
And then make sure you know where it's an eighth note triplet and where it's quarter note triplet. That's where you're getting a little bit.
I mean, for the most part, if you look in the piano, there's kind of steady eighth note
Yeah.
tone a
Yeah.
lot of the time. So once you can start to like tune your ear into that instead of the kind of rhythm surrounding it, I think you will start to become a lot more easy with
it's like you're very freely floating on top of that, but it always lines up.
Yeah,
And as long as you keep track of where it lines up, that's the way it's composed, right? It's kind of freely.
Yeah.
It's not like you got like
Mm.
7/8 bars or 5/16 or anything like that. So it's pretty straightforward in the end. Are you pretty, is this the final score or are you going to change things?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like hearing it now, do you feel like, oh, yeah, this was good, but I want to change that?
This is more quite so fully my performance, like don't know.
yeah, it's hard to know.
Yeah.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
I think when we start like workshop it,
Yeah.
we might find some things to change, and there may be some times like where Nina says she needs more time to figure out, time, just logistics, really, more than anything.
Yeah.
But as far as the vocal part goes, like there was very little in here that I was like, oh, that doesn't work. There's so few, like, I think it really will work. I like the way you set the rhythm. I like the way you set the text. And I like the way what you've done with triplets and the places where you've stretched it out to me actually work really beautifully with the poetry.
You might need a bit more dynamics here and there, especially entrances like 49 for the singer maybe, like most of the time you do it. But perhaps you can be a bit more specific about articulation too, like something like you have some arpeggiating chords in the piano, maybe there's some other staccato or some slurs that don't like be too straightforward, but a bit more play with that a little bit more, like paint a little bit with your articulations.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just like dotting I's and crossing T's. Yeah.
And those are the kinds of things that really only come when you hear it and you hear what a specific singer does with it. You think, oh yeah, the way you kind of like, maybe swoop into a note, for instance, then you can write a slur. But it might not even that idea might not even come to you until you hear someone sing it. Just the way it works. Yeah.
Like for example, the rhythm in bar 43, you see on the left hand of the bass and the count, I mean, I guess the next bar you forgot the slur. But what you can consider is instead of like slurring the whole bar, is to maybe do pa pa ra pa pa pa, or something like dots on the last two, or the slur maybe on the middle three, or to play with that and give it a bit more depth in that sense. It's just surface work, but it's notes are all there, right? But it's just a little more interesting surface.
Yeah.
Great.
Is it a little low in there for the singing? Like
She can sing
yeah.
low.
Okay.
She can sing low and she can sing high. Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, like for example, 34, like if you go really to that line low A, the piano is still doing the same thing. I'm wondering if that 34.
Yeah.
For example, right? And then there's a long B after that 35/6.
How does it go?
I mean, it's a low register for the singer, so I'm wondering, like, in terms of balance with the piano area, if you want to.
Can I try that one?
That usually works pretty well, though, no? Then you don't have anything overlapping there, which you might not have to strengthen the lower stuff. You want to go from there?
Wait for me, Jenny.
Prepared.
You can get that in your voice, you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine. Because I know you can sing this voice. Okay. Chest voice?
Chest voice,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something like when you're with a really good pianist, they know you're in the bottom of your voice, so they're just gonna lighten up.
I just couldn't find my notes.
It's okay,
couldn't find my notes.
Jenny, don't worry, we're gonna work on it.
Okay.
Yeah, going like just what you were saying about articulation, you know, I was also wondering like once it gets to around 49 in that section, like I could hear it too, you know, I could hear it being connected or I could hear it being almost more of this sort of like Baroque counterpoint.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Articulation. And I was what, you know, that's something I was wondering about is what you were kind of imagining for that. So like I could play it like I could play it. All very connected, or it could be more. It could be more detached, you know. And the right notes, obviously, eventually. Someday I'll play that. So like that's somewhere like where Edward was saying if you wanted to start looking at more details and articulation, it would be interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Great. We should probably move on because it is 7. Yeah. Thank you, both of you. All right. Any chance we have Judah here yet? I don't think so. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording and restart it so that they're not enormously long.